The Oscars are this Sunday. By the way, there's a conversation that has to be had that there is no bloody reason the Oscars should be in frickin' March. They should not be in March at all. Early February at the latest, I think. We're now like over 3 months since the year we're awarding has ended. Anyway, that's a separate thing. But we do have the Oscars coming up this Sunday. Very excited. And the race has gotten tighter. Because this weekend, the last of the big major awards prior to the Oscars happened. It was the WGA, the big ones for writing. And it looks like it's getting tighter and tighter for the Best Picture race because Sinners and One Battle After Another walked away with the big prize. The Hollywood Reporter reports that Sinners won Best Original Screenplay and One Battle After Another won Best Adapted Screenplay. And I think at this point, it's become pretty clear that's how it's going to shake out at the Oscars as well. Sinners is going to win Best Original Screenplay. One Battle is going to win Best Adapted Screenplay. But it's really highlighted, Rob, it looked like for a while that the Oscars was a 2-horse race for Best Picture. One Battle After Another and Marty Supreme, which I did not like at all. Loved Timothée Chalamet's performance, but I did not like the movie. But that seemed to be it. It was going to come down to One Battle After Another or Marty Supreme. But as the months have progressed, Sinners, which is my personal favorite film of the year, I love One Battle After Another too, but Sinners is my personal favorite, has kind of climbed its way back into that fight. Just recently at the SAG Awards, they call it the Actor Awards now, but that's a dumb name, so I'm going to continue to call it the SAG Awards. At the SAG Awards, they won Best Ensemble, and Michael B. Jordan won Best Lead over Timothée Chalamet and Leonardo DiCaprio. And now with the WGAs here, they've kind of now replaced Marty Supreme in that 2-horse race. And it looks like Sinners, Rob, I've never wanted to say it, but as it being my favorite film of the year, I actually think there's a chance it could win Best Picture now. I really do. I still think the money is on One Battle After Another. Let's be clear. If you had pressed me on it right now and I had to guess which film is going to win Best Picture, my guess would still have to be One Battle After Another, and well deserved. It's an incredible film. But I think over the months, my little favorite, Sinners, has gotten itself into this race. And I at least feel comfortable, Rob, saying I think it is now a 2-horse race for Best Picture. I think it's either going to be Sinners or One Battle After Another, especially coming out of the WGAs. By the way, on the television side, for comedy, The Studio won big. And obviously on the drama side, The Pitt won big, which is remarkable again this season. Anyway, Rob, are you surprised by the results of the WGA Awards? And do you agree or disagree with me that Sinners has fought its way into the 2-horse race? I don't know. How do you see this?
No, the WGA Awards didn't surprise me. And I think Sinners has a lot of love going for it. And of course, I love the film too, but I think it does have the one problematic element for the Academy, at least, is that it does become kind of a genre film. You know, it's a twofer. You've got this really interesting look at that area of the world and that particular time and the immigrant experience and the Black experience and the Native American experience, the indigenous people's experience. I loved all that. And then it turns into, you know, a horror movie, a vampire movie, which, by the way, I loved. But the Academy sometimes shies away from overt genre stuff like that. You know, if it has highbrow performances like Silence of the Lambs, then you can surpass that. So that's the only thing I would think about. But yeah, I do think there's a lot of love, because the thing about Sinners is it's really fun to watch. It's a really good movie. And it's less of a chore. Like, I like One Battle After Another, but Sinners goes down a little easier. You know, when you watch it, I've watched Sinners a lot more times than I would care to admit. And I think it is back in the conversation. And I think, you know, there's a little controversy. I don't know when the voting is over with, but Marty Supreme and Timothy Chalamet ran into some trouble when he was having his
Nobody,
conversation.
you know what? Okay, can I just say this about that whole thing? Nobody actually cares. Everybody's trying to pretend like it's a big controversy.
Oh,
that
I didn't
Timothy
think it was a big
Chalamet-
controversy, but it's, it started up.
Nobody cares about. And by the way, the Oscar voting is over anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean,
But we'll see. Who knows? I don't know. But I like you. I thought Marty Supreme was really well made, and I thought his performance is amazing, and it wouldn't surprise me if he wins. But again, I think that One Battle After Another and Sinners is definitely back in that conversation. And I wouldn't have thought, because here's the thing, at the last, a lot of people do catch up via screeners and things they haven't seen. And if you're watching movies and comparing and contrasting them, Sinners has a big up because it is so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
It is a wildly entertaining movie. I mean, the cinematography, it's just lush. It's fun. And does it have one of those great universal messages like other Best Pictures, say like Gandhi had, or I brought up Amadeus? No. But that doesn't mean that in today's climate that it's not going to perhaps pull out an upset win.
Yeah, no, listen, I said after the SAG Awards that like Coogler may have a shot, or not Coogler, sorry, Michael B. Jordan may actually have a shot at Best Actor. But I'm just for the record, let's be clear. If he does, it's not going to be because Timothy Chalamet mentioned not many people are interested in ballet and opera.
Although I do think it's funny how he's getting a bunch of tickets now to go to see the ballets and the operas.
Because guess what? Nobody does care about ballet and opera. They don't. Statistically speaking, very few people go to see ballet and opera.
Well, right. Well, it's hard. It's
he never
hard
said
to
they
see.
suck.
No.
He never said you're stupid if you go to ballet and opera. He said nobody goes to see ballet and opera. Is he wrong? I present to you that he is not wrong. He's absolutely
It's just a
right.
different. It's different. It's not the populist. It used to be a populist art form. It's different now. I mean, opera used to be the equivalent of what movies are today. It's just things change.
Yeah. Again, I'm not saying there's nothing to like about ballet and opera. It's certainly not for me, and I don't care about it, and that's fine. There's lots of things I don't care about that don't necessarily aren't popular and good and have value to them at all. But the statistical data is clear. Not many people go to ballet and opera. That's a fact. You can't argue it. That's a fact. And I'm just one of those people.
There are some great operas, and I've seen some good.
Absolutely.
I
great
saw a
operas,
ballet called Campea when I was a kid, and I loved it because it was basically about a robot. It was about a mechanical girl.
I mean, I'm more of a musical guy myself, but I mean, whatever. There's little things for everybody.
Come on, Wagner. Das Rheingold. Gute Dämmerung.
I think Jordan has a shot at winning. I'm just saying, if he does win, it won't be because Timothy Chalamet pointed out not many people go to ballet and opera.
Yeah, I don't think
that's not going to move the needle. But
Tosca.
guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. March is a time when we celebrate the women in our lives and recognize everything they carry every single day. Women often take on a lot, and sometimes their own well-being gets pushed to the side. And it's a great reminder of how much women give to the people in their lives. So this month is a great time to pause and reflect on the roles that you carry and the pressures that can come with them. Therapy can be a helpful space to work through those challenges, create balances, and set healthy boundaries so you can take care of yourself too. And that's where BetterHelp comes in. BetterHelp connects people with licensed therapists who follow a strict code of conduct. With over 30,000 therapists and more than 6 million people served worldwide, BetterHelp has an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for live sessions based on 1.7 million client reviews. They also match you with a therapist based on a short questionnaire, and if your first match isn't the right fit, you can switch to another from their recommendations. Your emotional well-being matters. Find support and feel lighter in therapy. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Campea. That's betterhelp.com/Campea. Whatever you guys think about this, do you think that Sinners has fought its way into the actual Best Picture legitimate shot at winning conversation? I kind of think it has. I would still probably put my money on One Battle, but for the first time, I feel like my favorite film of the year may actually have a shot. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.